Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joya and I just finished recording a different video, so if you haven't watched that one, go watch that one and then come back to this one. But I wanted to share, guys, a little bit about my NCLEX story. So I know I posted a video last year about how I passed in 75 questions. Mind you, I passed back in 2019. I just made the video last year. But I want to walk you guys through my story because I want you to understand that this is possible. And the story is really it's crazy. So I'll probably link it below, but the other video kind of tells you a little bit how I took NCLEX in 2018, didn't pass, and then 9 months later I passed. But I want to walk you through that weekend of NCLEX when I passed because it's really crazy. So I took NCLEX on a Friday in February of 2019, okay? And I remember I actually had it set for that Thursday at a different location, but that location was about 45 minutes from where I lived. I would have to drive 45 minutes, and I was just like, no, like, I'm not ready. I need an extra day. I need an extra day. So somehow I was able to get an appointment for the following day, actually, and I was actually about 10 minutes from my sister's house. So I was able to go stay with my sister and then, take the test 10 minutes up the street as opposed to driving 45 minutes in my old car and not making it and just not feeling like I was prepared. I felt like I needed that extra day. So I went to Orlando area to my sister's place, and I got over there. I went to the library. I studied that day because I think she was still at work. So I was in the library studying, and I just felt like that extra day helped me. I'm not gonna lie to you, like it really helped me. That night, of course, I couldn't sleep. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, just freaking out. But somehow I was able to manage to get a few hours of sleep, and I woke up that Friday morning, day of the test, and I was just real anxious, like just thinking like a lot of people know that I'm taking this test now and I got a lot riding on this. Like I can't fail. I can't fail me. I can't fail other people. I just can't fail. So that morning, they tell you not to study the morning of. Do what works for you. For me, I had to get some notes in because I was just too anxious. So I did a little studying. Not rush over, but I get to the testing facility, decent amount of time. I sit in my car for a few minutes and I pray because I'm like, God, I need you. I need you. Get out, go in the testing center, and they obviously make you check in, do all of that. I brought some snacks, so I recommend you guys bring something. Don't bring something that's gonna make your stomach hurt. So don't bring no yogurt. Don't bring no milk. I mean, not milk. Well, I guess you could bring the million milks. Don't bring no cheese. Like, don't bring stuff that's gonna make you sick. Okay, get something like some crackers or something like that. So I had like applesauce and crackers or peppermint, something like that. So I put my stuff down and I'm like, okay, before I go in here, I need to use the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom and I'm in the mirror looking at myself, and I'm like, in the mirror telling myself I'm going to pass. I literally was positive affirmations. Mind you, I'm at the facility. Like, people probably think I'm crazy, but luckily I was in the bathroom myself. And I'm just like, positive affirmations. I go in a test. I do about 25 questions. And I'm like, okay, I'm tired. I need a break. I get up, go to the bathroom again. I'm not necessarily using the bathroom. I'm just going so I can relieve myself of sitting at this computer looking at all these questions, okay? So I go to the bathroom, and once again, I'm in the mirror telling myself positive affirmations because you have to speak life over yourself even when you're at the testing facility. You got to speak life. So I go in, come back, do another 25 questions, go back to the bathroom, and I'm feeling good because I'm telling myself that I'm going to pass. I'm telling myself that I'm able, that this is going to be it. And I'm feeling good. Like I'm getting things. I feel like I'm getting them right. I feel like I'm understanding it. Come back, do another 25. Boom, cut off. Mind you, this is when it was 75 questions minimum. This is years ago. It cut off at 75 questions. When I tell you my heart dropped, my heart dropped. I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Because I remember 9 months prior, it cut off in 75 questions and I didn't pass. But I'm like, Joy, you actually feel good about this, okay? So I'm like, all right. So I leave the testing center. The lady was like, good luck. I'm like, thanks. So I leave the testing center. No, mind you, nobody knows I'm done with the test by now. I'm in my car and I go up the street to a shopping plaza because my sister's still at work and I can't get in her place. So I'm like, what else am I gonna do? So I go to the shopping plaza, I turn my phone back on, and I get a message. It's from one of my classmates that's also a repeat test taker, and she was taking hers a few weeks after me for, a few times. And she messaged me because she saw I was active on Facebook. I was like, oh my God. So she knew I was done with my test. Ever since then, I have turned my active status off. Because I don't, ever since 2019, on that day, I have turned my active status off. But she was like, how did you do? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel good, but I don't know. She's like, okay, do the Pearson View trick. I'm like, all right. So I get an old credit card and I, do the trick. I don't know if the trick still works, but and I got the good pop-up. So I'm freaking out. She freaking out. She like, Joya, like, that's good. I'm like, I know, but it's still a chance I didn't pass. So I'm like, all right. I go in the store. I go in Ross, do a little shopping. And mind you, this is a jam-packed weekend. I got a lot to do. I'm gonna get to it. So I go in Ross. I'm looking for some stuff. And I'm call my mom, or she calls me and she's like, you done? I'm like, yeah, I'm done. She's like, how you think you did? I'm like, listen, I got the good pop-up for this trick, but it's not always accurate. So there's that. And just throughout that day, I had people reaching out like, how you do? I'm just like, oh my God, y'all, I don't know. Like, but every single moment that I had, I was checking my results. I was literally just trying to find out if I passed, knowing good and well I was not gonna get no immediate results. But I just was anxious, so I'm just checking. Anyways, next day rolls around. I have to leave from Orlando to go back to my original hometown area in St. Pete, Clearwater area for a wedding. So I drive back. I'm still like checking my, account, trying to make sure like, are there any results uploaded? Results. I go to Clearwater for a wedding, and I'm at the wedding like anxious, like on my phone, like, hey, it's a beautiful wedding, taking pictures. But I'm like, okay, Joy, you gotta check. So like, I couldn't even fully enjoy the wedding because I was so paranoid. And the bride, she knew I was taking my test, and then our coworker knew who I was really, really close with, and he was asking me at the wedding. He's like, hey, how'd you do? I'm like, listen, I don't know. Like, and I'm trying to enjoy this wedding. You asking about this test is not helping. But anyways, the wedding was cool. It was on the beach. Cool, right? Move on. It's Sunday. All right. I woke up early. I can't sleep. I woke up early. Still checking. Still nothing. I'm like, what is going on? Finally, y'all. Finally. At some point in time, it was honestly around that 48-hour mark when they said 48 hours, but I was just curious. So I had to keep checking before then. But it was really around that 48-hour mark. Got the results that I passed. When I tell you, to this day, it is one of the best feelings in the world. People say this feels good, that feels. Listen, you don't know how it feels to pass NCLEX after you have failed it. When I tell you, literally one of the best days of my life. And I'm getting ready to go to church. I'm ready to go to my home church, and I had no intention of like saying anything about it because I just didn't know if I was gonna pass. I was just going to church. So I was actually a little late. So I get to church and I'm like, Joya, you have to get up in the pulpit and tell people that your God is still God. Excuse me. And I'm like, I don't like talking. Well, not really. It was new for me. But I'm like, listen, I got a testimony. I told the pastor, I was like, listen, I gotta say something. I gotta tell people that God is still Godding. Okay. So I get up in the pulpit. I'm in the pulpit at the podium, at the stand. I'm talking to the people at the church. I'm like, listen, this is what happened. This is my story. This is how God is still God. Like, this is real. Like, stop believing that God won't do it for you, whatever it is in your life. And I'm preaching to the people at the church about how God is still good. And when I tell you, it blessed somebody because they came and told me, another nurse. She's like, Joy, that was special. Like, that was special. But it's just the testament of how good God is. I could not have orchestrated that weekend any better from being so anxious that I had to change my test date to Friday. From 10 minutes up the street, like, as opposed to 45 minutes. That's favor. And then being able to go to a wedding and see love and still feel like there is hope for a lot of good things in life. And then being able on Sunday to go and testify about our God, how amazing he is. It's a fairy tale story. So for me, I know God is still good, y'all. And I know it's only by his grace that everything that happened that weekend happened. So if you are feeling discouraged, if you feeling like it's not going to happen for you, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. God will, he can, and he must do it for you, okay? As always, y'all, stay grateful, stay faithful, and please stay consistent in whatever it is you're doing in life. If it's studying for NCLEX, if it's praying, if whatever it is, you got to stay faithful. Peace.